everyone, welcome to Active Self Protection Extra. I am bumming around the house today. This is your friend John, and I want to talk to you today. I keep this, my defensive carbine, not obviously set up like this all the time, but if it's not being used to defend my home, I set this guy up with the Blackbeard X. Today, I just love to have this guy kind of sitting in my office, all set up, and you can see here, I'll show you, with the Blackbeard bolt in it and the Blackbeard X battery, so that I can just, when I got 5 minutes or 2 minutes, that I can just run a few drills. And so today, I thought I would run with you the triple threat drill that you can run with this or without it to get better with your defensive carbine. Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff building handgun and carbine skills and are your most economical and fastest path to improvement in your skills too. Whether you choose the X10, the Laser Academy, the Blackbeard, or use them all in concert, they will help your practice be more effective, efficient, and fun. Go check them out, pick up a unit, and thank them for sponsoring today's video. So really, of course, when we teach private citizen defensive carbine at Active Self Protection, and we do that moderately regularly, the biggest things that you've got to do with a defensive carbine is have it a good, effective, ready, get the gun up and on target, see your sights, and get multiple shots on a single target. That is the absolute number one thing you got to do. Standard kind of response today with an AR pattern rifle is between 5 and 7 rounds. So today I am working on using the Mantis for some dry fire practice, okay? And what we're doing is we're using third scale targets that we have put up there from the Mantis Laser Academy. I also have a bunch that I got that are Tim Herron's targets from Go Fast, Don't Suck. I've got some of those up today, but I'm not using them, okay? So let me show them to you, actually, so that way at least you can see them. See those guys down there? Those are the targets that I'm using, and you see those all the time on the channel. Now then, let's get back to work here. Now, what I'm gonna do is on the beat, I have my iPad down here, and I'm gonna actually get it ready to go and record so I can show you with this drill. All we're doing here is showing the transition. So what you can see here is you will get 3 in the middle of the A zone of target 1, and then you're gonna transition down to the pelvic girdle, up to the head, 3 in the A zone of target to the left, pelvic girdle, head, 3 in the A zone of the target to the right, pelvic girdle, head, and for a total then of 15 shots, 5 shots per target. Now, this particular drill is not measuring the stillness, it's measuring how much you are actually performing and keeping the gun moving and not waiting. So I'm actually gonna show it to you a couple times. The first time I'm gonna show it to you with a good bit of weight and kind of the score that it gives you for that when I'm very deliberate and very kind of perfectionistic. Then I'm gonna do the same thing with a moving my dot and getting shots when the dot is in the acceptable spot but not waiting at all. Now, one of the things that you'll see here is because I'm using third scale targets that you have to be ready for is the fact that I'm on a Unity mount. So I am very high from the bore here where the laser is to my target, and I'm only 10 feet away from it. So I've got about 3 inches of offset on this particular gun. So if I were to show you the target, when I am aimed in on a target, I'm hitting 3 inches low, which on a third scale target looks like I'm hitting forever low, right? Like 9 inches on a regular sized target. And so it would look kind of goofy. So what I'm doing is the mental discipline to say, where is my dot? I'm seeing my dot rather than worrying about the laser beam on this one. Okay, so anyways, we see it going. Are we ready? Let's get after it. And we're gonna see, this one is deliberate. Up, see it, got it, got it. Got it, 1 there, got it, 1 there, got it. Here, 1, 2, 3, got them, got it, got it. 1, 2, 3, down there, got it, went up instead, done. Okay, so those were the ones that I hit and I got them all very, very deliberately, right? Now, one of the things that you're gonna see here is that a total time of 13.58. That's not a great time. Now, my average score, 82.7, that's really measuring, did I go directly to it? So let's look kind of at some of these, and what I'm gonna do is kind of show you what they look like. So on the first one here, you see that I came the blue line straight up and just a little bit left at the very end. To number 2, stayed nice and still. Number 3, same thing, stayed right where I was, didn't waste any time. Number 4 then went straight down with just a little bit of rightward lean. Okay, that's acceptable. Then to get up to the higher one, a little bit of kind of care there at the end, but not too bad. Now then, I'm gonna dive down because I had to get back into the A zone, kind of overdrove. Do you see that yellow? It overdrove and then the orange came back. Okay, then I stayed pretty close to where I was there. Then I'm going to stay pretty close for the 3rd shot there. Now, one of the things you notice, straight down to my target, overcorrected just a little and had to come back, okay? Now drive straight up to the next target and overdrove a little bit again. Noticing just a touch of pattern here, not terrible, but just a little bit over with a little bit of kind of downswing there and a little bit of correction. Yep, sure did. So there, 2 and 3. Now 1 down, or notice that one I told you I went up and then down. I was like, up, no, down. So that's where that one came from, and then drove pretty close to up to the next one. Okay, so now I know where am I making mistakes here? Well, there wasn't anything egregious on that. Not anything terrible, just terribly slow. Let's see if I can kind of speed that up a little bit and go 1, 2, 3, down, up, 1, 2, 3, down, up, 1, 2, 3, down, up, and still have my dot inside the acceptable target range for big targets and small targets the whole way through. Let's see what we can do here. All right. All right, here we go. Stand by. Okay, I would say on all those, I went on this left side up a little bit and then drove down to it because I was just backwards like a doofus. And then I had one kind of like, I overdrove on the right target just a little bit. That's as I see it here. Let's see what this says. Now, I will say we went from 13 seconds to 6. Okay, so 6 seconds for 15 shots. That's not terrible bad. Let's take a look and kind of see what we had here in the first of all. So my first shot was at 7.2. That's not an incredible shot. I wasn't driving hard, but then a 1.8 and a 1.5, which to me are perfectly acceptable splits on an AR pattern rifle. Then a .7, and then my next one, a .4, a .7 transition, and then a .26 transition on shot number 7. That was pretty darn spicy. I'm sorry, that .78 there was to the bigger target, and then a 2.6 and a 1.6. Those are okay. A 3.3, a 5.2, a 6.5, 2.1 and 1.8. So you see I'm not firing very quickly there. So you can see kind of what those are doing for me. Now let's go look at my track so we can see if I got what I thought I did. So you see, came up and really didn't drive back down, really did pretty okay there. Number 2 stayed there. Number 3 headed down just a skosh, but not bad. Then you saw up and then down. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. And then that made me overdrive, which made me take a while. Next one came up very straight like I wanted, over pretty well, but overdrove it. Okay, now I'm overdriving it a little bit because I'm trying to go much faster. So then a decent split there, drive straight down, drive almost straight back up. Now down and over and then up because I wanted to get up just a bit. 1, 2, 3. Now then, drove straight down and then straight back up just a little bit to the left. So not too bad. Let's try it again, see what happens, see what we got here. Okay, let's play it again. Okay, the headshot at the end was in the top left B zone. It was not an A hit, okay? So I'll tell you that right now. That one would have been a Bravo. Everything else should have been an Alpha. Now I'm down to 5.31 seconds, which I'm much happier with. So you see a .6 on the first shot, 2.1, and then a 2 and a 1.5. So, okay, so I'm not shooting super duper fast. Let's look instead again at my movement here. Up and correct, stayed where I wanted, drove straight down and then straight back up. Hit this one, a little bit of hesitation, but pretty good. A little bit of movement there, and that's okay. I'm trying to move a little bit faster. Then straight down, straight back up, and got hits over to the target and acceptable. Little bit of rightward movement continuing there. Drive straight down, and then this one shows straight up, and that would, you would think, be really good, except for we know that I kind of overdrove it. So what am I doing here? If I don't have a Blackbeard X, okay, so what am I working on in this particular one? Is I'm working on getting the gun up, seeing my sights, and combining seeing the sights with pressing the trigger acceptably. Now I can work on this without a Blackbeard, right? What I'll end up having to do is I'll get one click and then I will get mush, 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 mush. And that's not the end of the universe. You can do that, right? It's not gonna kill you to do that. I just love having the trigger reset that the Blackbeard gives. And then when you add the Blackbeard X, then it gives you all this data that you can then use to integrate into your defensive training and see whether you really saw what you thought you were seeing or not. Let's see if I can beat that 5-3-1, shall we? I got a thing. Let's see if I can get it under 5 seconds. Let's do it. All right. 5 seconds, everything in the A's. Let's go. So I can tell you that I did get all A's, but that drive up to the head box on the left-hand side, I looped. And so we'll see, 4.69, okay, so we got them all, and we got really good scores. Let's see kind of where our movements were here. Came straight up, a little bit up from there, stayed where we wanted. Now we drove pretty close to straight down, back up to the top there, yep. Down here to the bottom, then pulled it back right just a little bit. Now, straight-ish down, sure, we'll give it that. Then you see we kind of pulled over to the left just a little bit and then looped it around, like I said, over here, stayed tight where we were, and then drove straight down and straight up and did get our alphas there. I do want to see, yeah, I'm running .15, .18, .18, .21 on my second shot on the third target. But I did get it under 5 seconds like I wanted to. So this is a great thing to practice of just doing seeing my sights and is my trigger press doing this. Now, if you don't have a Blackbeard or those things, you're just gonna have to be brutally, brutally, brutally honest with yourself, or maybe set yourself a part time for each portion of this if you're using a timer like a Range Tech or something like that. That will help you get this stuff done. This is the kind of stuff that it's just fun to do, man. You can go sit and go through, I mean, I just sat here with you on camera and ran, 60 shots of dry fire in a matter of just a few minutes on camera. And I tend to do this stuff in 5-minute blasts sitting at my desk. Now I get it. You're like, John, I work in a public place. I can't leave a Blackbeard equipped AR there. If you're working from home like I am, you can. Otherwise, put it somewhere that maybe when you come home and kick your shoes off, you've got it right there. You can do that 5 minutes of dry fire because it's set up there to go, and you can get better with your carbine. Hope it helps you.